Ah, it's nice to hear that beautiful music playing. Welcome back, everybody, to Stardew Valley, here on Fantasy Farm. Spirits are happy, we've got the blessing of speed on our side, which is good, because we need to get going pretty decently quickly here if we are going to do what I am planning on doing. So let's quickly knock all that out. The axe is what we'll need here. I do want to show routine today, as it is important that once again we get the hardwood situation taken care of, as we do have that quest active right now. And today we should be able to get enough across the board to go ahead and finish that up. So there's no reason why we shouldn't. So we'll be doing that today. That's not the only thing I want to get done, though. I do want to start catching some sturgeon for the fish pond. I do want to actually make the fish pond as well. And if there's time, question mark, I would like to also hopefully get an octopus as well. But I know that's the big thing that I'm going to be running low on time to do. Because, oh, well, first of all, because I need to go back and milk the cow, not just the goat. But because they are only available from the start of the day until 1 p.m., which is not a lot of time to work with. So we're going to kind of have to put the pedal to the metal here and be pretty quick about things. So with that blessing of speed, let's also up it with some coffee. There's nothing here immediately I need to do, so I'm not going to waste my time there. We're just going to go straight to chopping these. And I actually believe we'll have enough on the farm to get this done. And if that's the case, we'll go ahead and run to Robin so that we can double down on what we need to do. But I do want to get that fish pond built as well. And there it is. There's the sound of it. So there we go. 80 pieces of hardwood. We need to add that to the stockpile in her house. So let's do it. Oh, I heard a truffle being procured somewhere. Yep, there it is. I'll gladly take that. The faster we get through all this stuff, the better. As for the golden animal crackers, it doesn't really matter. We can't give them to the pigs. The only options left are the 3 chickens that give normal types of eggs. So I'm just gonna pick 2 of them at random, basically, because as of right now, it does not matter. So since it doesn't matter, we'll just go with those. That's what we're tossing in, as well as that helm. Very quickly grab a carrot. We only need 80 pieces, so I'll put those up. And very quickly, while I've got the game paused, I'm going to check and see what requirements are necessary for a fish pond so that we don't have to make multiple trips, because that would be preferable to not do that. We need 200 stone, 5 seaweed, and 5 green algae. So let's do that real quick. There's 5 seaweed, there's 5 algae. There's some copper bars. Oh, and the stone will be here. Close enough. Alright, that will work. I don't need the axe anymore for today, I don't think. And while I would like to gift Kent, because I do believe we haven't gifted him twice this week, I would like to get this done first and foremost. And we've still got, like, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to gift him once, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. So let's ride. There's no traveling merchant today, so we don't have to worry about that. These are done, so I will go ahead and grab these. On the off chance we need them. Again, I don't really remember too much of what the pine tar is used for. I'm not going to go for that train. There's no reason for me to. But we would eventually need it for something, potentially. So there's 2000 G, and of course that hardwood bed will be available at some point. You'll also notice, now that we've got a house upgrade, that there are renovations you can make. You can add rooms. You can open the bedroom, which removes the wall. You can add southern rooms, corner rooms, dining woods, cubby, attic, etc. There's not really anything I want here immediately, but it is worth noting you can upgrade your house again. The cellar can be used to age certain products like wine and cheese. It will cost 100,000 G. Are you interested? this is how you'll make that wine a Silver Star quality, you know, whatever type you did, if you are going to do that for the mystery bundle. This is a very important thing to pick up, as this will obviously, with aging your products, make them worth a lot more, especially if you chose Artisan to increase the profits by 40%. So I would like to build towards that at some point. Right now is not that time, though. Instead, we are going to construct farm buildings, and we are going to build a fish pond. And as I already said, I've got the spot in mind for it, which will be... We'll go with right here, so I have that extra little space there, and if I need to move the lightning rods, then I can do that. I would like to put it here and get rid of that, but I can't build it there because of that one stupid torch, so we'll just put it here instead. We can move it later on, so it's not too big a deal. Right, that's that taken care of. I'm going to move these down here, and we need to book it on down to the ocean. Once that timer has run out and we can't catch the octopus anymore if we don't get it in time, I'm going to head back up to the mountain lake to start catching those sturgeon, because I do want to be able to have those taken care of, and the more I can get, the better. Those will be available until 7 p.m., and so once those are... I can use that later on. Hey, Kent. Those will be available till 7 p.m., so once those are taken care of, then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of the day. Oh, hi! This is an event we should have seen ages ago. It's Delta, right? Yeah, dude, we've met. I'm just enjoying the great weather, Delta. This is like his tour, like one of his very early hard events. Hey, go long! That's not very long, but okay. Nice try. I'm just gonna leave the football there. I'm gonna be the first professional gridball player in Stardew Valley, from Stardew Valley. There's no doubt in my mind. I already led my school's team to the regional playoffs. Now I'm just training and getting stronger so I can claim my spot on the roster of the Zuzu City Tunnelers. You just wait. I will do that. Wow, you're really arrogant, or I believe in you. Obviously, I believe in you is the correct answer. Thanks, Delta. I'll remember that. This is the event I thought it was going to be, because this is one of his later hard events. You know, one that actually makes him look like a human being, as opposed to the one we just saw. Oh, Delta, you saw me crying. What's up? It was today, 12 years ago, that my mom died. Still remember her well. She makes salted radish sandwiches for lunch and tossed the grid ball with me in the backyard. She took good care of me, and I was too young to really say thanks. Now she's gone forever. It's the only keepsake I have left, her secret music box. So, what are you thinking right now, Delta? Honor your mother's memory by always doing your best. You shouldn't dwell on the past. I'll always be here for you if you ever get lonely. Or, get over it. Life is hard for everyone. Well, that's a dick thing to say to anybody. I don't feel like this is a great thing. Like, yeah, you shouldn't dwell on the past, but you shouldn't forget about it either. And I don't feel like he's dwelling in it so much as, like... Especially when anniversaries roll around, death anniversaries for people you care about. I actually think it is good to, like, think back on those people fondly. So, I don't feel like that's the right answer. You guys are seeing it on screen now, if there is one. Honor your mother's memory, or I'll always be here for you if you get lonely, are both obviously good choices. I like how this sounds, but as dark as it is, I don't like the phrase, I'll always be here for you if you get lonely, because, like, at least physically, yeah, it's possible Farmer dies before Alex, so you can't always physically be there for somebody. So I'm gonna go with honor your mother's memory by always doing your best. Yeah, I know. That's why I've been so determined to be successful with my sports stuff. Make it or not, as long as I try my hardest, I think she'd be proud. Thanks. Well, there's no sense sitting around sniveling. Let's head back to town. Delta? Yeah? Don't tell me when I was crying, okay? I don't think he meant that as a joke. I think he was actually being serious. Thanks, player character, for laughing at an inappropriate moment. Caught some kind of rare fish. I'm impressed. Your arms must be stronger than they look. Not bad. I'm not used to opening up like that. Yeah, there we go. That was the actual line I was waiting for there. We'll go over here. We'll go to our usual spot. And ooh, we can have a little luck here. Yeah, as somebody who's got a mom that's in not great health, and it's entirely possible that she suddenly passes, which, granted, that's possible for anybody. Like, you could get hit by a car walking out to your mailbox. Like, that's just how it works, but yeah, understand that feeling all too well. It's a very hard line to strike because, like, as a son, you're like, yeah, that's my mom. I don't want my mom to pass. But obviously, because of how life works and how, you know, death is the end of life, it's not great, but I guarantee you that all parents would rather, or at least, you know, all good parents would rather them go first than their kids, because there's nothing worse than having to bury one of your kids. And the whole, you know, death comes for us all, no one's making it out of this thing alive. It's not really life unless you have the end of it to experience, for better or for worse. But, you know, as a son, you're like, well, obviously I don't want my mother to pass, that's my mom, like, provided that you have a good mother that's there for you. Even if you don't really, you know, click or gel, you don't want them to die. Especially not while they're, you know, going through a lot of pain and suffering, but as their friend, you gotta, like, you know, respect medical decisions they make. And I think a lot of people in her social circle respect the decision. I don't know if they like it, but a lot of them try to, you know, talk her out of doing things like palliative care, where you're just trying to make yourself comfortable whenever there's nothing you can do about it. A lot of people don't like to face that realization of, oh, I'm losing a friend, I'm losing a wife, I'm losing a sister, whatever. And I don't like the realization of having to potentially lose a mother, but when it comes to her decisions, they're her decisions, so you can either be with her and help her as best you can, or you can be against it. And even if you're, you know, your intentions are good, the decisions aren't yours. They're just not. Like, unless it's a case of somebody is unconscious and not able to make that decision, it should always be their choice. And you always have the right to change it as well. That's why if somebody refuses to be, you know, have a transfusion or be saved or whatever, for whatever reason, but if they change their mind while nurses are doing whatever they can, they have the right to change their minds too. It's a rough topic, but I do believe it's a discussion that, like, people should have, especially if you get diagnosed with something serious. Oh, that was the tackle, not the bait. If you get diagnosed with something serious, or, you know, just as people get older, it is a conversation you have to have of, like, what do we do in this situation? Like, if I'm not responsive, that's why I'm the second medical consenter, that it's not just my dad, is because if she was on life support and that was the only thing keeping her alive, A, I know for a fact because she's told me she would not want to be kept alive that way, and B, I know he would not be able to physically say, like, we need to shut off the machine, we have to pull the plug, like, she's not coming back from this, she's alive physically, but she's dead every other way. I would be able to do that. I would not enjoy doing that by any stretch. But as her friend, and also her son, but mostly as her friend, like, I understand that that's what she wants. And that's the idea that comes with picking your, the person that makes those decisions for you. You would want them to make the same decisions that you would make if you were there. And I know that saying gets taken a lot for granted whenever it's like, oh no, that's what they would want. I know that's what they would want. Yeah, I mean, yeah, usually if you're saying that, you don't actually know that for a fact. It's people that don't say that are just straight up trying to do right by the other, that actually probably have the best idea of what that person would want. Let's go ahead and grab that prize ticket. Oh, that sells for 1 gold, wow. Well, that'd be a pretty crappy reward instead of getting anything else. Another Star Drop tea, very nice. I am tempted to give that to Kent. One of the other things I want to do really quickly while I'm here is because I've forgotten, I don't think the dwarf has a birthday this month. Oh, he does! The 22nd. Well, we might have him maxed out by then. I don't actually know. I think it'll be close. I'm not going to say that for sure. I don't actually know for sure. Well, no luck with the octopus, but we'll keep giving it a go as time goes on. This might explain, though, why I didn't pick it up the first time in the summer, because that is not a very large window of time to be able to take care of it. And probably what I could have done is passed on doing the routine at the start of the day and just gone straight there and then done the routine after 7 o'clock hits, once the option for both sturgeons and for the octopus were gone. I could have done it then, sure. It's, yeah, I mean, entirely possible, yeah. But, I don't know. Something just feels more right about doing the routine at the beginning of the day. You know, that's your morning routine. You know, that's you're getting up, you're getting showered, you're brushing your teeth, getting dressed, all that stuff. So it just felt more right to do that. So we'll see if we got a little bit of luck of catching the sturgeon here. These are a bit more common fish. Both this and the octopus, by the way, are available in the summer. The time of day matters, but the weather does not. It can be any weather, so it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. Or in the case of the octopus, if it's snowing. So for now, we're basically just upping our EXP and we're upping our money count. But really, what we're going for here is the fish. Obviously, with that special order done, we've only got a few left, actually, because that was, I believe, number 12 out of 18, but 2 of them are not available right now, so it's 12 out of 16. I know the community cleanup, which is Linus's request, is one that I haven't done yet. The bone fragments are one that I haven't done yet that I would, again, rather wait on, and I do not remember off the top of my head what the other 2 are, but you'll see that at the end of today, because that little thing where they get marked off will show up. So you'll see it then, but I won't see it for a little bit longer. Again, that was inside the bar. I could literally see it in the bar. If it's over halfway in the bar, then it counts. And that was probably a sturgeon, too, because they are, I wouldn't say hard to catch, but they are harder to catch. Yeah, this definitely isn't one. This is probably a chub or a carp. Nope, rainbow trout. Okay. We'll probably be doing more of the same tomorrow, because I can't see anything that's immediately coming up in the, like, in the right now. We are getting kind of close to the point of getting that boat repaired. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, we're going to be doing it super, super soon, but, like, once we are pretty tapped out on stuff to do, yeah, there's a good chance that that will be what we're doing. Because other than doing, like, this fishing stuff, I mean, what else is there really to do? We could work on Monster Slayer goals, sure, and I would probably go ahead and do the mummies and the serpents. The Rexes, I don't feel like we're gonna really get other than naturally, so I don't really know what we're gonna do for those, to be perfectly honest. I will pick them up at some point, but I mean, that's just gonna be a lot of farting around, I guarantee you, of going through the dungeon, and that might be where we're picking up more iridium ore. We might be using that, you know, for sprinklers and stuff like that, of once a new season rolls around, okay, we'll replace all the quality sprinklers with iridium sprinklers to get more spaces, that kind of thing, sure, but that is a bit of reaching. But that said, going through Skull Cavern is an opportunity for more items like that. It's an opportunity to maybe find some auto-petters in that dungeon. It's obviously more experience as well, since we still got one more to go on that. So there's some stuff we can get in there, but it's kind of few and far between now. Less few and far between, or more few and far between than it was what feels like not all that long ago, admittedly. There we go. One thing I might do is also go by where the oak trees are and shake them for acorns. Not actually chop them down, but just shake the trees and see if they'll drop one. Try to get more of those mystic trees built up. It would be nice to get those saplings going. I know we've got the one, but ideally you'd like a lot more than one. And they're also pretty slow to give you their harvest. Slower than the pine tar, the oak resin, and the maple syrup are, so do bear that in mind. There is a way to get a faster tapper, but we don't have access to that right now, so for the time being, we are not going to worry about it. And one of the things I might do once we kind of are done poking around with stuff like this is I might look through the achievement list and just see, like, okay, what do we kind of have going on here? Like, what could we be working towards? Because really the only big ones I can think of are just the special orders requests, because I'm not counting stuff of after the ship's been repaired. But, like, in here right now, the big ones are upgrading the house, which we need money for, so the crops are doing that work. The Monster Slayer quests, and then the special orders that we have not yet done. Can we potentially get one more sturgeon, maybe? No, this isn't one. I can already tell. It's not moving around nearly enough. That's gonna be it right there. Okay. I've got space to go ahead and check, so I am gonna go ahead and do exactly that. And since we're here, I do want to check and see how far along we are. Ooh, I'll take these too. I do want to see how far along we are with the Monster Slayer goals here for these remaining ones. So that's done. So we're almost done on the serpents. We've still got a ways to go on the mummies. Got 41 of those left. We have, what, 18 serpents? That's actually not very many. And we do still have the things of Monster Musk to be able to lure those out. I didn't check the Rexes just then, but I probably should have. I know these don't always drop. Oh, you actually can't shake the trees at all when they're, can't shake the trees at all when they have a tapper on them. Interesting. I did not know that. Well, worst case, once other trees start to grow in other parts of the valley, like the forest, I can go and cut those down. And that might be something I actually do here, as I might check around and see if any have grown. How are things looking up here? We don't go up here much. The grass is regrown in that one area. Good grief. Yeah, I'm thinking that forageables do not spawn up there, so since it's kind of a mostly useless area, that would be another good spot to do some tree planting, if you were so inclined. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. First off, I'm just going to kind of sell basically everything here that's not the sturgeon. We'll keep it, though. As for the excess pieces, these can go in here. Grapes can go in there. Star Drop Tea in there. The bait in there, and the sturgeon in there. So we got 2 of them now, which is not a lot, but it's a start. Put the pine tar away. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to do. How are we doing on bars? Looks like the copper's still the lowest for now, so we'll keep working on those. Also, there's a truffle that popped out over here, so let's... Another 2,500 gold, we'll toss it in, sure. Yeah, I will take my axe, I think, and I will go and check and see what it looks like over there. Oh, this is one right here. We can go ahead and knock this down, sure. I know all of these are over here going to be those, so I need to check the lower halves. That's a maple one. look like any of these have grown yet. Oh, nope, there's a few. We'll grab them, sure. Yeah, I probably won't be cutting down the trees in the quarry that I've planted unless I just really end up with way too much oak resin and just do not have a use for them anymore. Yeah, these are all maple ones. But hey, that's 4, so we're nearly there. Trying to think if there's any other spots. I think there's one over by Robin's house we could check real quick. Again, this is kind of just a day of farting around, basically. And the 4th will be much the same. We'll probably be seeing the exact same thing here of me trying to hunt down the octopus, followed by me trying to hunt down more sturgeon. Yeah, we are kind of reaching that point, though, where it might be beneficial. Ah, that's not an oak. I thought it was. Yeah, where it might just be beneficial to start thinking about opening up that new area with the boat. 22 out of 50. Yeah, we're not even halfway. And I haven't really been avoiding them. Each time I've seen the Rexes, which, granted, is not often, obviously. But when I've seen them, I've gone after them. I know there's nothing I can do with you, but I can talk with you at least. Add a little bit of friendship points. Why not? Yep, and it's getting late. So it appears we must turn in. I will grab that from you. How many more of these do we got? We got 4. Yeah, we could probably go ahead and make some more. Why not? Another 4. Not too bad. Could have sworn there was something else I had to put up, but I guess not. I'll grab one of these to throw in the crusher momentarily. There we go. We're getting close to filling that out in full. And once it is, I will absolutely make use of it, so you don't have to worry about that part. I haven't just forgotten. It's just I want to keep them all on the same timer, and I've talked about that. If it's just going to be easier to keep track of. One thing that somebody did recommend that I saw in a video that is a very good idea of like, oh, well, what if I don't want to waste the time of going in there to check? Is what you can do is you can put another keg right outside the door, also with the same thing you put for all of the other items in there. So if you did like all starfruit or whatever, you put one outside, and then when you pass by it, you realize, oh, that's done. All the ones inside are also done, and so that's how you can check them. It was a very good idea, and I liked it quite a bit. Yep, some good money there, 15K. It's crazy how just doing, like, what felt like basically nothing, and that's still 15K, is just baffling. Alright, let's take a look here. Spirits are very happy, so hopefully we'll have some good luck fishing. Blessing of the Fangs is not much use, unfortunately. Not for something like today. So, with no mail, let's go ahead and get routine started, and I will see you guys once that is taken care of. Alright, we are back. As you can see, there's a fair few things that I'm tossing in here. A lot of the fruit trees are done. Obviously, the mayos, the truffles, there was some broccoli done as well. So yeah, quite a bit from that, I would wager that we'll be picking up money for. And first and foremost, yes, the next thing to do is absolutely to head to the ocean. I'm going to take this with me on the off chance I can get to Kent decently early here. Because if I can, I would like to go ahead and gift him today. I feel like we've been putting it off for a while, and otherwise I'm just going to keep getting distracted by doing this. And it's not that far of a stop, so, like, theoretically, as long as the door's open to his house, he's probably awake, let's be honest. No, it's not open till 9. Alright, well, we're going to wait then. Well, we're not going to wait for him. We're not going to... We'll wait to do it at another time, i.e. once 1 o'clock has passed. Oh, you're right here. Never mind. You are... You're not at home, but you are awake. Here. I've been up since 4 o'clock. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever get back to normal routine. Yeah, I was about to say, usually military people are pretty early to rise. So it would have been a bit surprising to see he was still in bed. Alright, now we do more of the same, and with a little bit of luck, we might have some reward off of this. Let me check very quickly. Provided that his shop is open, I might grab a different tackle from Willy. Do you have anything that could really make this go faster? Slightly increases the bite rate. Increases the bite rate. Oh, you could buy another pan here. Not that you'd really need it. Fish don't escape while collecting treasures. Slight increase to find them. We'll just take another spinner and add it on there. Just to help with that, I guess. Also, since we're in here. There you go. Enjoy that. We'll make back the money of buying that pretty dang easily, and even then, that's not really why we're doing this. That said, it would be nice to get that 100,000 necessary decently quickly in order to upgrade the house again. But even if we don't get it while fishing, which there's a good chance we probably won't, we will get it from the influx of the blueberries and the starfruit once those are done. I am going to hang on to the starfruit, like probably most of them, all of the non-starred ones, so anything that's not gold or silver starred, almost assuredly is going to be sold. The rest of it will probably end up getting put into the caskets. It'll probably end up being wine, because starfruit wine is pretty good. It's up there with the ancient fruit wine, which sounds surprising, but it is true. It's worth a lot. So because of that, I would say that would be an ideal thing to use for them. But all the high-quality ones, since the quality is not preserved, the quality is always back to nothing, and as you now know, with the seller, that's how you improve the quality. So you might as well sell the high-quality ones. I'm not saying you'd get more out of a gold star starfruit than you would an iridium star starfruit wine, but it's probably not worth the time it takes on all the caskets to actually go and, you know, wait X amount of time. Your time would be better off spent just selling those starfruit, and if you need the money, you can buy more starfruit seeds, and you could grow a second set of starfruit, and, you know, you'd be able to sell that too, and you would get more money out of that and be able to use it for more overall faster, so you'd be sacrificing the highest amount of money you could get for being able to get the money faster and use it for more things to help increase that production. So, overall, yeah, probably better to just sell them. I'm going to double check and like see if there's any other info I can get on the octopus, because I've not yet seen one. I know they're pretty rare, but I would like to make sure that I'm at least doing this correctly. Yeah, not really any additional info. I already knew this, but for the record, at least according to the wiki, so don't, you know, take it with a grain of salt. It may not necessarily be true for you. It is also saying that other than the legendary fish, that this is the hardest thing to catch, is the octopus. I don't know if that means, like, actually reeling it in, or if it's referring to just the fact that it's hard to find. Maybe a combination of both. But, I mean, if we can get the legendary fish, we should be able to get this, so I feel like the real issue is just having a limited window and it being a relatively rare fish is what's really causing the problem here. But it also means that if it is really hard to catch, if it bounces around a lot, we'll probably know when we have it. It is saying that the Blessing of the Waters does make this easier in terms of reeling it in, but also you only get that for 3 casts. And if it's relatively rare to actually catch one on a bite, that means that probably your first 3 casts are not going to give you one. I don't think this is one either. This is something else, but it's not an octopus. If they're saying it's almost as hard to catch as a legendary fish, I just don't believe that, yeah. I feel like it would be way too obvious when we do get it. Another golden animal cracker. So we'll give that to our last animal that we can, I suppose. We do have the option to buy more pigs, to buy more goats, and I have been considering that. There is another animal that we don't have access to yet that I do want to put in the barn. But I think other than the dinosaur, which is in the process of growing, I don't think there's anything else in the coop, really. So at that point, I don't actually know which one would make you the most money. That's something I would have to check. Tackle's worn out. Let's switch to the deluxe bait just to, again, increase the bite rate here. Thankfully, we do basically have the entire month, since there's not really that much going on in the summer. We do still have the luau, and, like, while that's cool, I probably will skip it, because we don't really need friendship points anymore. It would be nice to get them with the dwarf and Kent, but sacrificing the entire day for it, I don't know. It might be worth it for the friendship points. I don't know, I'll think about it, but it also wouldn't be a super big deal if we skipped it either. We would be able to buy more, like, tiki stuff, and I do kind of like having the tiki jungle aesthetic. I'm almost assuredly going to make one of my rooms look like that once the house is fully, you know, extended out, built out, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, not really sure. The moonlight jellies, though, I can safely say we've really seen all we need to see there. There's, other than Pierre's shop, which has some cool stuff, but we already saw it in year one. We don't really need to see that one again, I don't think. The only reason I would do that is because it starts really late in the day, because it doesn't start till 10. So at the very least, you're not, you know, you're not wasting an entire day. It won't actually skip ahead, but only 2 hours, as opposed to like, oh, you got here at 9 a.m. and now it's 10 p.m., so too bad for you. Alright, this is our last shot. And yeah, I don't think this is one. This is looking too easy. Yep. Afraid so. Alright, well, let's quickly go ahead and sell this off to get more inventory space. Hey, Willie. Because I don't need it for anything else. And then we'll grab a couple of these. Just to try to help with that bite rate. And then I'll toss everything down here so you can actually see what I'm doing. These are the ones I actually want to keep. I don't really care about the artifacts, because we've already gotten all those. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, I don't remember when the luau is. I don't think it's till, like, the 10th, so we've still got some time before that appears. I guess since we're right next to this, we could go ahead and check. The 11th. Sorry, Maru's birthday is the 10th. Bookseller will be in town on the 12th, so I do want to keep an eye on that. Because that is another thing that actually we do still need to do, is we still need to grab more of those books. Which by that point, like a week from now, we should have fine on money. That I'm not worried about. Like at that point, we might have bought another house upgrade and we'd still be fine on money. So yeah, I'm not worried. Here's a dumb question, since they were already in my toolbar, I'm assuming the answer is yes, but I did equip both of those spinners, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. I'll say, why would I put them on the top of my toolbar and then move them to lower my toolbar where I couldn't see them, but... Brain does not like to remember things that it saw less than 30 seconds ago. Ideally, given the time and the fact that the bite rate is high, I would like to catch more than one sturgeon today. I'm thinking, like, this might be a bit of a high bar to clear, but I'm thinking 3. 3 feels like a reasonable amount. If I could get 3, that would bring me up to 5, and then if I could keep doing that on average, that means it would only take 2 more days to get the 10, which is the maximum amount you can put in a fish pond for sturgeon. And granted, it will take a little bit of time to let the fish pond fully fill because of the whole, oh hey, they request these items type of thing. So you have to, you know, wait a day or two before they'll give you another one. No, I'm not going to lose this because this is a sturgeon. There we go. Like I said, you can tell because of just how they operate. Though we did just get some sturgeon roe, so that actually does fix that problem now. So I can just put that straight into a preserves jar, which I will do because we have a backup one that's in one of my chests. So I can literally just toss it into there. Wow, okay, 3 iridium bars. I'll take that, heck yeah. I do still need to drop the gold quality fruit into that mystery bundle, but like as that won't complete the bundle, because we're still going to need 2 more things, it's not something I have to do until I have all the pieces, so that would be if we have nothing else to do. So that'll give us the caviar, and we are on our way to a dinosaur, which means we're on our way to dinosaur egg and dinosaur mayo, so that's good. So that means that we won't have to go and necessarily procure that final piece of the puzzle with the wine. So it just kind of depends now on what we get first. We have all the pieces necessary, it just depends on what will occur the fastest. I think the caviar between the 3 will be the fastest. And as for the wine versus the dinosaur mayonnaise, that's going to depend on how long it takes for the dinosaur to hatch, and if I donate the first egg, or if I give the first egg to the mayonnaise machine. I am considering starting to put more animals in the barn, though, to up that produce quality, especially if I'm going to keep picking up the golden animal crackers that I don't really have much of a use for anymore, until I get more animals, because once you've given it to them once, the only thing you can do with them, really, is just sell them. And they sell for a decent amount, sure, but, you know, otherwise there's no point in hanging on to them. Though that said, it is always possible I fish up a second dinosaur egg before the first dinosaur hatches. It's not a super high priority big thing to get that final bundle done either, based on what it gives you. It's kind of a cool thing, but I don't really think there's much attached to it. I believe most of it is building friendship with the villagers, but we kind of already did all that, so we don't really need to. I do still want to complete it, though, as, like, just part of the, you know, the whole thing. We are kind of reaching the point where money is kind of the biggest thing, like, for the really high-value stuff of making a lot of money, less so than, oh, yeah, we need to, like, get these resources. The only real resource that we need is just the money now, really. Alright, we're at 2. Can we manage to grab a third? We've still got about 2.5 hours before the sturgeon will not be available for the rest of the day. So it's definitely feasible, provided we can get one that will give us a bite here. Another fish taco. Let's go ahead and do this. I have no need for these seaweeds. And now, because I'm not fishing in the ocean, they can't give me seaweed, which is always a plus. I'd rather just, you know, catch actual fish here. Unless I'm doing the community cleanup, but that said, again, I don't remember if it makes you fish from a certain place, but if it doesn't, your best bet is probably to go into the mines, because if the mines count for an area you can fish trash from, pretty much the only thing you get there is either the ghost fish, one of those 3 fish that we've already caught, depending on which floor you're doing it on, or trash. And trash is going to typically be the thing you're going to get the most of, so it would make that job pretty easy to do, honestly. Alright, this is definitely another one here. It's definitely erratic enough. Nope, I'm gonna catch you. There we go. Also, it doesn't matter what quality of fish, whether it's gold, silver, iridium, or normal, that you throw into the fish pond. It doesn't have to be the same as all the other ones that are previously in there. You can throw in any combination. The quality pretty much disappears once you've put them into that fish pond. So, yeah, doesn't matter. You can do whatever you like. With a little bit of luck, we could probably get that bait to give us double sturgeon here. That's going to be a carp for sure. It's not moving at all, barely. No, even with that, it may be a chub, but probably a carp. Yep. let's start going through the algae, same as we did with the seaweed. It is used for the fish pond, so I am glad that I did collect it and, like, keep some in storage, but since it's only 5 seaweed and 5 green algae, it's probably not going to be used for much. It'll be used in some recipes. Like, I think algae soup I would presume, has algae in it, but yeah, not too terribly much. There goes the tackles, unfortunately. This might be a little slower on the catching side of things. But we could potentially pull out another 1 or 2 with a little bit of luck. I don't think this is one, though, that's not erratic enough. Nope. Oh well. We made good progress, and we got the roe, which will save me a lot of a headache later on. I still do want the fishing pond, and even if I don't use it for making the caviar... Oh, there's a double right there. Even if I don't use it for the caviar, I can still put other things in it. The like I mentioned, the lava eel, if I recall correctly, is a very good choice. So I might fill it full of lava eels. I don't know. That's something I need to do a bit more research in, but since it's not built right now, that's not a decision I have to make right this second. It does mean that if we get the community cleanup, I probably would go down to floor 100, because whether I get the trash or the eel, either way, I'm making something good out of it. Ooh, this is looking pretty erratic. This might be one. Yeah, I'd rather have the sturgeon than the treasure chest, sorry. There we go, now we can go and grab it. No, just a 1. Alright, well, that's alright. And there's more roe. That's perfect. Alright, cool. It doesn't really matter which we pick. I doubt we're going to get another one here. Let's do this, I guess. Just so I can see the sturgeon and how many pieces of sturgeon we have. Oh, actually, maybe. This, maybe. This might be another one. I don't know. It is erratic, but it's not, like, super erratic, so I'm not sure, actually. Hey, and we got the double. Very nice. That'll bring us up to 6. Which is actually 8 total. I'm happy with that. We'll go ahead and catch this one more since I already threw my fishing line out there. This won't be one, but you know what? That is a really good start should I choose to make a fish pond for the sturgeon. That was a very good start. That's a lot better than the 1 we fished up yesterday. And what do we got from this last one? More deluxe bait. Okay. Well, we're full on inventory anyway, so this is a good time to vamoose back to the farm and figure out what we're doing for the rest of the day. Oh, so chub and largemouth bass are actually worth the same at iridium quality. Yeah, I didn't think that would be anything too terribly important, but it was worth a shot. Alright, first of all, where are ya? Sturgeon, there we go, we got 8 of those. Let's put away the baits as well. I'm going to take this out and equip it, since we've already got wild bait on there. And we'll throw away all of what we don't need here. I do want to keep that row, of course. I don't need these artifacts. And most of this other stuff is going to go in here, actually. The animals might still be awake, maybe. Nope, they are asleep. Oh well. Well, some of them appear to be awake. Can I give you this? You fell asleep, like, right when I was trying to give that to you. Well, that's a shame. Let's grab 2 of these. Toss them on in. Yeah, it was, like, right when I hit 8. That must have been why. Alright, the other thing I did mention, yes, preserves jar. I'm just going to stick this... Oh, it's not going to let me do that. I'll put it here. This isn't too terribly in the way, and I'll remember that the row is in there. So that can go up. These can get sold. I'll hang on to the animal cracker and we'll put the fish taco inside of the refrigerator. Are jellies or anything done? I've not put new jellies in there. Okay, well I need to do that then. What are we lowest on? Iron, it looks like. So iron, I'll grab that from there. We are getting pretty low-ish on cranberries. I think once I hit 30, we'll probably switch over to strawberries again. Alright, that'll get that going. There's this. And what to do from here? There's not really a lot going on, honestly. I mean, I could work on more experience by fishing and more money. I think I'm actually going to do something that I've been kind of hinting at for a little bit. Let's change how everything looks in here. Let's start actually making our place look nice and pretty. So I need to figure out kind of what I want to do for flooring and stuff. And I have an idea what I want to do for at least a few of the rooms. But it's going to kind of depend on what I can find for flooring and walls and stuff. So I'm going to start from the bottom here and kind of work my way up. I do kind of want to do a jungle theme, so I'm going to see what I can do for floorings. These are all free, so it's not that big of a deal if I put one on and I don't like it and swap it out. And so what I might do actually here is cut and let... oops, that's not what I wanted. What I might do here is cut, and then I'll come back once I've gotten the place fully redone so that you can see what it looks like. Alright, we are back. This is what I've decided on. I kind of went with a jungle theme here. I'd like to decorate it more, but I've got the tiki statues and stuff in here. The leaves have been moved in here. In general, I couldn't find a lot of good purple for both the floor and the wall. Everything was either kind of an ugly puce color, which puce is just a nasty word to say as it is. But yeah, it was an ugly puce color. It just didn't work, so I kind of went with something like this. You'll be able to see it in the light better. I kind of went with a sky-esque theme. These were all sort of elemental themes. There's an ocean/underwater theme, and then there's the theme of space here, and I need to obviously take care of that section as well, and because this is an individual piece right here, so I'll need to remove that ugly wallpaper, but it kind of got a little bit of theme going on. I wanted to find sort of a, like, volcano fire thing. Couldn't find pretty much any red for the flooring, which is not surprising, but not even the wallpaper. There wasn't any good options for that kind of thing, so that was a bit of a bummer. But we've got more time to work on it another day, because this was kind of a, hey, let's see what we can do with these wonky, zany ideas. I'm not even going to bother to look at that total, because I don't care. I sure enough don't. So yeah, now you can get a little bit of a better idea of what it looks like, and also I can too, because it's, you know, not as crazy. But I'll move stuff around maybe a little bit, kind of move some things in here. Yeah, that's definitely going to have to go, that one little line right there. But yeah, I kind of like what I'm working with here. There is an option to put an additional room here, which is why I'm kind of not going too crazy. I'd ideally move these caskets over. I'd move the bed over and put something here. So it's kind of just, you know, making it look different. I'm not going to take too terribly much time to do it, but it looks different, and honestly I think the change is welcome. I like seeing the different colors. This is a color palette that is very much more my own. Lots of darker colors, browns, blacks, greens, blues, purples. This is much more akin to something I would like, as opposed to these nasty little colors right here. So yeah, I'm happy with this thus far. Though for now, we are going to end this off here. So next time on Stardew Valley, here in Fantasy Farm, as I like to say, we are... Ooh, what are we going to do? The Traveling Merchant will be available, so that's good. We've already done our gifting, so there's really not much to do there. Admittedly, I'm not sure. We'll poke around. It'll be kind of a poke around time, I think, and figure out where we're going from there. So, until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.